Hello, and welcome back to Introduction to Digital Political Campaigning. This week, week 7, we're going to be talking about media coverage and media relations as it relates to a digital political campaign. Okay, right off the top, earned media versus paid media. Earned media is the publicity, the free media, whereas a paid media is your advertising. Two different, distinct types of media that are very important in promoting a candidate. When a newspaper, website, or television or news channel mentions your campaign in a legitimate news story, this is earned media. This is the focus of this lecture. Positive, or if it's not positive, at least objective, fair earned media is the best kind of campaign coverage to get, since you don't have to pay for it. It's like a third-party endorsement. If you can get the media to say something nice or fair about you or your candidate, your campaign or your candidate, it's a third-party endorsement. It's an added credibility kick. Plus, it's free. There's an old saying, all publicity is good as long as they spell your name right. Well, that holds true much of the time, but not all the time. Many campaigns have gotten into trouble, have been sunk by negative publicity. And also, I've been working for a number of campaigns and candidates through the years, and rarely is a candidate 100% satisfied with the media coverage, no matter how flattering it is. There's always a sentence or a paragraph or what you name it that they might not be satisfied with. So just understand that going in, that not everybody's going to be happy about a piece that you think is 100% glowing. So still, in spite of all that, getting positive or at least objective or fair coverage from the media is a net plus for any political campaign. Now, also, this is important to keep in mind. A political campaign cannot win alone on media coverage. It's a part of a successful overall marketing campaign strategies and tactics mix. Okay, so positive publicity, the free media, the earned media, is very important. This coverage is usually important, but it's not the be all and end all. Okay, media relations. In order to drive this positive publicity, this fair publicity, it's important to remember that working with journalists is a key part of it. It means generating really interesting news and campaign events and sending out regular press releases. Your assignment this week includes a press release draft as part of the discussion post response, and then there's also the press release writing assignment. The key thing is to build a positive rapport with journalists. Now remember, don't set out to make them your friends. That's not the goal, and that's never going to happen. But just have a good positive rapport, working relationship with key journalists and editors. Very important. If they know you and like you, they'll think 2 or 3 times about hurting you or the campaign or the candidate. There's an art to working with and influencing the media. I also, on this module this week, I have a link to a lecture I did on working with editors and journalists. So you check that out too. As you know, reporters and editors can be hypercritical and very scrutinizing, and yes, depending on who you're working for and what party, media bias is real. It is very much a real phenomenon. Keep that in mind. Now, I say at the bottom here, don't play favorites. Make sure that you notify all media outlets about all events, all campaign and scheduling events, etc. But there are times when you might want to offer an exclusive to a reporter that's been really good to the campaign or can really do good things for the campaign. So just keep that in mind. For the most part, don't play favorites. Get the message out to everybody, the press release, the advisories or whatever, to everybody. But it's simultaneous, and you can use like a PR PR wire service if you want to, or just make sure you do an email, a blind copy email blast to all the media. But occasionally there may be something that you might want to just give to a reporter that for a special reason. Now, also, if your campaign budget is on a shoestring, remember the value and impact of free or earned media. It really is the most cost-effective way to communicate, especially if you cannot afford large advertising and marketing buys. Okay, here's just a couple of quick ways to keep in mind to create a positive or objective coverage. Do rallies, invite the press to rallies. Campaign events and rallies are excellent sources of generating positive publicity. News conferences. Now, I have to caution you on the news conference. It's just like the old saying, you don't want to have a party and nobody shows up. Make sure that it's really, really big news and you do a teaser and then you get people there, because the last thing you want is your candidate to show up for a press conference, a news conference, and there's no press there. So you have to make sure that it's really big news, and they will come and do a nice teaser, but don't give them too much so that they don't come. Set up one-on-one interviews. This kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier. Occasionally there may be a reporter or an editor that you can give an exclusive to and you feel comfortable doing that. Family photo spreads are very, very popular to endear the candidate to the district or the state or the community through family features. So that's a little bit about media coverage and media relations. Like I said, this week the assignment is a discussion post with a press release assignment added onto it, and they're also included on the module or the week homepage a lecture on how to write a press release. You're going to need that perhaps for the mechanics for doing the press release assignment, and then also a lecture on working with journalists and editors. I also teach on the undergraduate level PR writing, so that's where these lectures come from, my PR writing class. So in any event, that's this week dealing with the media and media coverage, and we will see you next time. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.